Random and exclusive games for the Atari ST. Now when I mean random, I mean games that have been released on other systems and I just want to showcase what the Atari ST had to offer. Plus on top of that, exclusive means any games that Atari had that didn't get ported over to the Commodore Amiga. But more likely they were ported from their 8-bit cousins. But anyway, this is Atari ST. Let's take a look. Crystal Castle, released in 1986. You play as Bentley the Bear, and he is trapped in the Crystal Castle, and the only way to get out of the castle is to collect all the gems throughout the levels. My friend pointed me to this one because he's a 2600 fan. It's a great game and also is available on other home ports too. The Intruder, released in 1989, and this was published by Ubisoft. This is side-scrolling shooter is exclusive to Atari ST, and it was never ported to any other systems as far as I'm aware. Great graphics, great playability, this is certainly one you need to try for yourselves. Slap Fight, released in 1988. Now you'll be wondering, oh well, this game was ported onto many systems, and you will be right. This arcade classical was only ever ported to one 16-bit home computer, and that was the Atari ST. What a game this is though. Top-down shooter, very difficult but very rewarding. Gauntlet 2, released in 1988. This game's been released on many systems, and including Atari ST. This game consists of you going through different mazes, finding potions and health, and fighting your way through to the exit. Absolute classic arcade conversion, this one, and it feels right at home on the Atari ST. Top-down racer time now, and this is Super Sprint, released in 1987, and this was developed by Atari Games as well, and published by Electric Dreams. Now this top-down racer is a classic. Based on the arcade version had 3 players, and the home port had 2. Released on many systems too. But until recently, this game on the 16-bit home computer was exclusive to Atari ST. But now the Amiga eventually has got its own port too. Brat, released in 1991. You guide a baby called Nathan through levels, which feature such things as dynamite, bridges and O's, and you must get him to the end of the level safely. Very similar to Lemmings, using a mouse to control different movements and objects and so on. Yeah, certainly a game you need to try. Gauntlet 3, The Final Quest, released in 1991. As you can see, this is different from the first 2 Gauntlet games because they were top-down views. This one's more isometric perspective. And they've done a great job on the Atari ST with this one. It's a fun game, plenty of action in it too. And I do apologise for the flickering on the bottom of the screen because I just couldn't get to emulate properly. But yeah. If you love your Gauntlet games, give this one a try. Now for one of the all-time best games ever released on 8-bit and 16-bit home computers. It's Defender of the Crown, and this was released in 1987 for the Atari ST. Defender of the Crown puts the player in the role of one of 4 Saxon knights in medieval England, in a time where the land is in turmoil as the king is dead and his crown has been stolen. Yep, this is a hell of a game, plus on top of that, it's full of mini games and plenty to do in it too. And I do like the Atari ST version with his own style of music. Classic. Ghost Battle, released in 1991, and this was only ever released on 16-bit owned computers, the Amiga and Atari ST. This is an early game for the German company Talion Software. It spans over 5 difficult worlds, and the game's very similar to Shadows of the Beast and Ghosts and Goblins. This game is not easy. It's very difficult, but the graphics are great, and if you like your Shadows of the Beast and Ghosts and Goblins, this is certainly a game you need to try for yourself. Plenty to do in this one, including puzzles. Top-down shoot 'em up again now, and this is Chopper X, released in 1989 and published by Mastertronics. This is very similar to Swift, but very difficult. It's a fun game, but frustrating at the same time. If you can master it, it's very enjoyable to play. Arcade classic now from Atari, and this is Road Blaster, released in 1989, and this is a futuristic battle car racing game, as you all well know. It's a fun game. I played this a lot on the Commodore 64, but only until recently I played it on the Atari ST, and using a mouse as well, it's loads of fun, and for some reason it just feels at home on Atari's home systems. This game don't need an introduction, but it's getting one anyway. This is Cannon Fodder, released in 1993/94 for the Atari ST. You guide a team of soldiers through 72 levels of combat in this top-down action strategy game. This is an absolute classic on many different systems, and the Atari ST version is a great one as well. Another Atari arcade classic now ported to the Atari ST. It's Sunrunner, released in 1989. It's the year 2492, and you must pilot your subterranean underground network craft at speeds of over 900 miles per hour through a series of courses to retain your title as Sunrunner, completing each course before time runs out. This is an absolute classic arcade game, and it's a cracking port on the Atari ST. Another arcade classic now for you, and the final game I want to show you too. It's Moon Patrol, released in 1987. Your goal in this game is simple. You must guide your moon buggy from one base to another, and to do that you must avoid objects, destroy alien craft, and jump over ravines. Absolute classic for its time, and a great port on the Atari too. And a little fun fact for you, this was never released on the Commodore Amiga. I'd like to say thank you to my Retrotech roasting fed Atari, and I see you all again soon.